Okay, so I wanted to thank Kuresh for giving me a topic called Facebook and Facebook Live. Between you and me, I want to confess, I'm not a Facebook user. I'm a WhatsApp man. But the real reason why I enjoyed this topic was that when I did research for this over 2 days, I realized something very interesting, the genesis of Facebook. And I'm going to share that with you. Now, how did Facebook come into being? What is the purpose? What is understanding Facebook Live? Why is Facebook now being used as a marketing tool? What is the word of mouth as compared to the word of social? What ophthalmologists should do and how? And the last thing is conclusion. Is it necessary to be on Facebook for your practice? Now, the purpose of Facebook originally was that it's a robust digital medium which was devised by students in Harvard University to keep in touch with their friends or to find new friends. So they used this medium because they found that once they left college, they could not keep up. Letter writing and all didn't do that. So that is how the idea of Facebook started and it was developed. Now, it's a robust digital medium to find, connect, and socialize with people who have lost touch with them. Social media is important because it allows you to reach, nurture, and engage with your target audience no matter what your location. In fact, we just discussed with Santosh about this. Now, what is the importance of Facebook? When I went through the available sources, it's very important to realize that Facebook Live are videos that encourage engagement. That people also like to comment on them. So it becomes interactive. The second thing is that Facebook videos are very cost effective. If you actually try and get a corporate movie made, yesterday I had somebody giving me the proposal, they're in the budget of 3 to 5 lakhs by the time you get a professional equipment. These can be done for as little as 100 rupees if you have a good camera in your cell phone. Then Facebook Live videos also save a lot of time because you can do them quickly and you can upload them and you can move on. Facebook Live videos also create a sense of community because the major benefit is that if you're driving through traffic or the business pages, these encourage engagement and allow for product promotions users in your defined area. Now, I'll give you an example in the coming later. You can actually do these kind of marketing for a limited zone. Now, I practice in Gurgaon and Delhi. I don't need to advertise myself in Bombay. So I can do a very focused kind of a awareness campaign for the community. Then what does the video do? It encourages traffic. Once traffic comes in, sees a video, people interact with you, your name gets known. So that is the important part of it. Now, Now, what is the motive behind Facebook? Now, Facebook was originally designed, and this is a study done by Elsevier Research. Okay, it's published in Elsevier. Facebook offers the following: exhibitionism. Majority of the people are introverts who are hesitant to talk to people have today become the most vocal users of Facebook because sitting in the privacy of the room, they're able to tell and expose things which they're very hesitant to do on the stage. Number two, companionship. It creates a sense of companionship because where it was designed, 60% of the people in Harvard were then single, they were ready to mingle. So it brought out a companionship through Facebook and WhatsApp, which doesn't happen. Like without WhatsApp and Facebook, none of the people you're interacting with, you would normally interact with even once in a year. Second is entertainment, as we all know, escapism and passing time. Then comes social curiosity. Everybody wants to go to Facebook and see what jewels is so and so wearing, what is the actress's dress, all these things you come to know of it. Then comes relationships. Number one, formation. Today you find a lot of people date online. They go for dinners after that. They get married. So a lot of people use this for formation and for maintenance of relationships. And of course, as a marketing and branding platform, which was not the intention when Facebook was formed. Now, next comes Facebook as a marketing tool. Now, why is it considered such an effective marketing tool today? Number one is it has unlimited reach with easy management. So it's something like your webinars once you understand them. Second thing is it provides very targeted advertising. Now, as an eye surgeon, I don't need to target myself to people who don't have an eye problem. It costs a lot of money. Putting a half-page ad in the newspaper puts you back by 1 month's income. And you don't need to because you're not in the business of creating a name. You are in the business of going to the right focus so people who have eye problems could reach you. So it's very, very targeted advertising. Second is adaptive campaigns with detailed insights. So this is the power you hold. If you actually go to Facebook and tell them, I want to launch a campaign and this is my budget, they will actually work on a campaign for you and tell you how to do it so that you reach the proper people in the proper format. If you're a cataract surgeon, you're targeting the cataract age group. If you're a LASIK surgeon, you're targeting the teenagers in the 19 to 40 age group, or beyond teenagers. So basically, you can actually target to know what you're doing, and you don't waste your money to that extent. Then you see now this is the most important thing. Everybody says that 70% of the industry's big practice in ophthalmology depends on word of mouth. If your patients are not going to speak well of you or your practice, you are not going to be a successful practitioner, whatever you may do. That is why you find sometimes the people who are not very good in interpersonal relationship, who are not people's persons, they do very well as directors of government institutes, but they flop as private practitioners because the art of interacting is not there. So word of mouth and referrals will only come with that. Now, word of mouth is limitation. You can only do it on a one-to-one basis. You see one patient and he goes back home and he talks well of you and sends you another patient. But word of social is what you do through Facebook and others in social media. So word of mouth becomes a word of social because you interact. Most of us enter our WhatsApp pages, I think every 1 hour. There may be some less, some more. I've seen people who are online all the time on WhatsApp. I've seen people who are online at 4 o'clock in the morning. What does it show? It shows that their word of mouth is now a word of social. They are there, you're sending them a message, they're responding to your message. Now, those who don't have a word of mouth, a word of social, don't need this. You'll find very rarely reply to your messages. You can send thousands of emails and you may get 2 responses. You may send a mass campaigning on WhatsApp that you're doing a symposium, and hardly anybody today gives you a thumbs up or response to it. You get it? So that is the difference between the word of mouth and word of social. Now you come to this. Now, what should ophthalmologists do and how? So what is basically happening is that we have to understand who your patients are, their behaviors, where they live, where they work. Now, my understanding of our practice in Gurgaon today is when we started this hospital in 2006, we were getting patients from a range of nearly 90 kilometers, right up to Minister, Alwar, and all. Now, we are something like 450 ophthalmologists practicing in New Gurgaon. We have major hospitals like Artemis and Vedanta and all. Now the whole practice is changing. It's people who are coming within the range of 2 to 3 kilometers. Nobody's coming from Alwar for a refraction. Nobody's coming from Bombay for a cataract, which I used to do in our hospital because we were attached to Vedanta for 3 years and all the patients came to us for surgery. Similarly, we have to communicate with those who require our services. So it's very important that we are able to be seen on the Facebook. But how do you get to be seen? You should not be seen as a very aggressive person. You should not be marketing yourself. Doctors are not supposed to market themselves. It puts up a patient. You see, that is why you find that most of the doctors who are very aggressive in marketing, over a period of time, lose the volume of practice they have. You have to be very genuine. Because when you as a patient go to a doctor, you don't want smart talks. You don't want him to give you a 4-color ad. You don't want him to tell you things which you want to hear. You want to know what disease you have, what is the best method of treating it, and you want to get out at the earliest because it's not a pleasurable trip. So never publish any misleading contention. People have started advertising, they're giving discounts, they're doing this, they're doing that. That in the long run doesn't pay. Most important is that if you can't do it yourself, engage with some digital marketing agency which has experience in healthcare so that you can do it. Now, the most important thing is the strategies to adopt. So you have to have a search engine optimization, you have to have a social media pages management, you have to have a campaign management for broader awareness, you have to have social media outreach for your social worker. We have one floor dedicated to charity. So we have to reach the paying population for our private floors. We have to reach the people who need to be brought in who cannot afford to pay. Now, reaching people who cannot afford to pay is the most difficult thing in Gurgaon because everybody is living in luxury here. We have condominiums, we have golf courses, we have no juggies and jhoppies and this. So we have to tell the homeowners that we have a floor for your servants, for the poor, and you can send them to us. So that has a different kind of outreach. Then all media work has to be done by professional management. Now, creating a bigger online presence. Now, what is our objective to go on Facebook? We at Arun, they are very clear that if a patient is looking for an eye doctor, ophthalmologist, or emergency eye care, he should at least be aware we are around. You'll be surprised. I had a patient who lives just 2 minutes walking distance from here. And he said he did not know we existed. He had come to this colony in 2006 We were running a hospital in a 700 square yard plot with 14,000 square feet with the national flag on top, and he says he didn't know it was an eye hospital. Isn't that beauty? Arvind did a study and they found that only 22% of people in Madurai are aware of Arvind Eye Hospital. So it's very important in how you brand yourself, how your services are available, your online consultations, and most important is that whether, and it's also important that a lot of things are linked with your website. So when people go there, they get it. Lastly, I would like to tell you that what are some of the stats? Now, these are the ways you can advertise yourself on Facebook. Tell them you've got a 35 years, 3-generation practice, you have 2 centers, you've seen so many patients, you've got so many, but don't tell them, I do the best cataract, I have the smallest incision size. Then you actually make it cheap. In conclusion, the question comes, is it necessary to advertise? The question is today, most of the people are only on social media. There is no way in COVID to go out and make friends, to rub shoulders. It's very so that is why most of the doctors are moving onto social media, and it is a platform which is versatile. And lastly, I would like to say that the best marketing should be done in such a way that it should not feel like marketing. It's like when you date a young girl, you actually make her feel that you're in love with her, that you want to marry her. It has to be so subtly done. If it comes out as a crass marketing effect, it doesn't work in the long run, especially in the big corporation. So I'd like you to know that please, if you like anything on Facebook, you share it with your friends and you follow it. So design it in such a way that people enjoy your things. And thank you very much.